Hello everybody and welcome back. Yes, today we're going to go more detail into sound and we're going to talk about muffling sound. Now that's a weird word to use, muffling sound. What does that mean? Let's have a look. Now let's have a look at what you guys need to know after today. What does it mean to muffle a sound? And which material will muffle sound better? So those two questions we need to be able to answer at the end of this lesson. So let's dig. But first, let's have a look at our terminology that we need to know. So the first word we need to know is muffle. And what's the meaning of that? That means actually to make the volume of the sound lower so that it's not as loud, as well as to make it less clear. So for example, if I hold my hands over my ears, I'm actually muffling the sound. I make it softer, as well as it's not as clear as when I have my hands away. Now silencer, that is the equipment that actually help us muffling a sound. So it's actually equipment that makes the sound quieter. Okay, and then the next one, ear defenders. Now ear defenders is like cups. It almost looks like your earphones, but they are actually there to protect your ears from very loud sounds. So next one, let's go. Now it's experiment time, guys. Now I've done a separate video for this one, otherwise I cannot show you guys because it's quite a big video. So what you guys gonna need if you want to do this at home, you're gonna need a box with a lid, a measuring tape, a pillow, t-shirt, aluminum foil, plastic bags, towel, and a sound source. I use my cell phone, guys, but you can use a radio or any other speaker device that you have. Okay, now very important, guys, go have a look at this video. I'm not going to repeat it in this one, so please, it's a separate video. Go have a look and then we can discuss this as well later. If you finish watching it and you're now here, that's great. So let's go on. Now, what did we observe in that experiment? That certain materials actually muffle sound much better than others. And we found actually out that the pillow, for in our case, that's one of our options, was the best one. Why is that the reason? Because it actually absorbs the vibration of sound. Now, as we know, sound travels by vibrations. And if it's the material has a lot of hollow spaces, like little air, so if I can actually squeeze a pillow a lot, because there's a lot of air in between, but between the air there is the fibers. So what happens? These vibrations move into the air, into the fibers of the pillow, but then it's spread over the pillow, so it's not in one direction. So by doing that, by actually absorbing the vibrations, it actually makes the sound softer and less clear. So it means it was muffling the sound. Now, what's the big deal? Why do we need to muffle sound? Very important, guys, that we actually need to muffle sound when we're in conditions where the noise is extremely loud. Okay, because if you actually expose your ears to 85 decibels of sound over a long time, you can actually cause hearing loss and become deaf. So the reason why we need to muffle sound is to protect our hearing. Now, a lot of times you will see in roadworks of people that works on building sites, they will have these ear defenders to protect the ears from loud noises like the jackhammer and all the other equipment that's around them. But then also in the back of the car, you will see this thing, this pipe coming out at the bottom, and that's called a silencer. That actually brings down the sound of the car engine. If you remove that, it will be an enormous sound, very high in decibels, and that can actually be very dangerous for your hearing. But guys, as well, I know a lot of you guys play games online and PlayStation and all of that. Then you've also heard about this silencer. It's also a silencer that actually makes the sound less and less clear. So a silencer on a gun. So let's see what you guys learned today. We had two questions in the beginning of the lesson. Let's see, what does it mean to muffle a sound? Can you think of what does it mean to muffle a sound? I can hear you guys thinking. So let's muffle that thinking and get to the answer. Yes, guys, to decrease the volume of the sound and make it less clear. So if I hand my, can you hear me? I'm busy muffling my sound. Okay, so to muffle sound means to actually bring the volume of the sound down and make it less clear. Well done, guys. I know you know that answer. Okay, which materials will muffle sound better? Now, if you think back to our experiment, what type of material did we use? We said something about when you can squeeze it, there's something in between. Can you think about the answer there? I'm going to give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Yes, guys, materials that easily absorbs the sound vibrations. And how can that happen? If the material has a lot of empty spaces, hollow spaces of air, but it's still with the different types of material in between. So it actually spreads the vibrations and absorbs these vibrations. So that is how these materials actually muffle sound. Well done, guys. So, guys, that is the end of this lesson to muffle sound. I'm going to muffle out and you can't hear me then. Guys, enjoy. See you at the next video, guys.